Whoa, now there, it's your man's and them, the Toothless Wonder, back with another video on the Bamboozled Again News Network with the Jordan double clutch on the late afternoon, early evening tip on my way home, right? And I just come from, my personal experience, a lot of times in real time, or epiphanies I've come to, and with the help of a lot of content creators that I subscribe to. You know what I mean? This one will be piggybacking off the channel Immortal Minds and SRBG, right? And my own twist in relation to a situation. Well, it wasn't even a situation. It was just something I had to do at the gym, right? I'm going to start off with healthy boundaries, right? And I've discussed this in previous videos, how people that I've known for years, we've had great experiences. We went through things together. They might have been down. I've helped them. You know what I mean? I might have been down and they've helped me, and vice versa. But as I continue to grow and evolve, which is what Immortal Minds brother was talking about, I'm noticing friends are dropping off, and I'm like, what is it? Because I've always been me. I just don't drink anymore. Same personality, still been a, conspiracy theorist, if you want to label it that, even though I don't box myself in with labels. And I'm like, why, like brothers that I've been rocking hard with for years, why are we growing apart? And Immortal Minds was just talking about this, and I'm going to correlate this to healthy boundaries. I'm on from years of taking personal responsibility over the decisions I made. Even if I didn't have all the information, once I took responsibility for it, it put me on this trajectory of, the original GDs, growth and development. I'm addicted to information, knowledge, wisdom, truths, enlightenment, revelations. You know what I mean? I think maybe that's why I had an issue with smoking weed so much. I like to stimulate my mind. You know what I mean? And I noticed, and I've seen it in other people, let's say in, the addiction world, treatment, whatever you want to call it, growing, like growing pains, you know what I mean? It's natural part of your development. I don't like being stagnant, not just, outwardly or in society, but especially internally, mentally, because I've come to this epiphany that if you choose to stay stagnant, whatever your previous issue was, whatever it may be, if you're stagnant, it'll hawk you. So it's not that I'm running from everything, but as I naturally go forward, it can't catch up with me. As Paul said, forgetting what is behind, I press forward to the mark in Yeshua, right? For the former has died, paraphrasing, and behold, all things are new. And I'm in a process of sanctification. Especially when I know when it comes to healing, people be blown away by the stuff I can admit. And I wasn't always in that space. But as I've grown and evolved, I'm not ashamed. Yes, I am. I am ashamed of it. That's why I don't do it no more. But I'm not ashamed of telling anybody I've eaten out the garbage, or I neglected my child for years and blamed, my daughter, mother for making it hard for me and all that. I don't like playing the blame game. I don't like playing victimhood. You know what I mean? And so I was at the gym, doing my squats, right? You know what I mean? With extra, more than usual. You know what I mean? And I got a partner of mine that I met when I first moved to Baltimore trying to get it together, right? Me and him just clicked. He an older guy, maybe about 10 years older than me. Time proceeds on, we go our separate ways, but we all stayed in contact. When I took the drop, he led me to, get some help. You know what I mean? Put some ducats in my pocket, whatever. It was all the love. When it was vice versa, when he had took the drop and I was kind of functional. Man, I don't care about that. You my man's in them. You know what I mean? So he has this propensity. And so he was clean, I was clean. I was earlier on. But I guess he was on methadone because he ended up dealing with this girl. Commercial break me, please. When it comes to these women, if you start off wrong, you're going to end wrong. And I understand loneliness, right? Al Green said, what becomes of the brokenhearted? You know what I'm saying? So I guess he was hard off one night and ended up tricking with this woman and made this woman his girl. There go my man told me about my facial expression. Right? And I've done it, maybe not that degree, but made wrong decisions in that area. And because of the pain, I was forced to learn from it. Because I don't like to feel no broad stunting on me, or being able to say, I'm down bad because she took me off the path and all that. Man, that don't suckerfy you ask me, from how I understand it now. And it's happened to me. But it won't happen again, I promise you that. So, like, his issue was crack cocaine. Chasing behind her, he ended up getting on smack. Now he's on methadone, but he ended up attempting to unalive this woman. Spent a rack of time in central booking, and by the grace of God, got out. So I get the word he out, so I reach out to him, and now mind you, I'm still evolving. So as he's talking, he's still blaming her. And I'm interjecting like, cuz, you was been supposed to leave that alone. You just got out of jail, just like my other partner here in town. He tried to unalive his own daughter off the coke, liquor, and the pharmaceuticals. He come to me, you know what I'm saying? Word up, you know how Negro do it. You come home, you get shown some love. Whatever I got to offer, and I really didn't have it, but still, whatever. And he's blaming her. I'm like, yo, it's not making any sense to my brain, yo. No personal accountability. So he talking about how she did him wrong. I'm like, you supposed to been lead a woman. You know what I'm saying? Or she jumped between you and some other dude and you want to fight the dude. You know what I mean? And she on drugs. And this who you fighting over? Lost his crib, lost his car. I got another partner chasing around these drug addict women who done probably did something strange to him for a piece of change. I'm asking them, strong brothers who helped me out, you know what I mean? Now they ain't got no ID. Like that song, Lost and Turned Out, but on the male side, right? So he has this propensity to keep like inboxing me like these stupid videos, right? Again, I'm on information now. So the partners that I do rap with through inbox, like we do that. But for the most part, we talking about the game. We talking about the struggle. We talking about what we trying to do. We talking about solutions. And then we'll send some old stupid stuff or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Keep it balanced, right? But he's never done that. So he bombards me with at least 30 inboxes of monkeys eating bananas and squirrels fighting and whatnot. So I don't even like show that I seen it, right? I just leave it on red. But then I'm like, I don't want to carry my man acting like I don't see the junk. So then eventually I won't even look at the video. I'll just click thumbs up or laugh and keep it moving, right? And then he keep doing it. He done sent me like 13 of them in the last 3 hours. So now I get tired of same thing I had to do DC mode. So I directly tell him, cuz, stop clogging my inbox up with video, bro. Not 60 seconds later, he sent me another one of, I don't know, raccoons playing cards or something. Block. Again, you not talking about nothing of substance. You know what I mean? And then when I tell you, because I don't know what it is, I think people think I'm playing. Like I had to show them at the job. Okay, like I really don't be talking like that. But if I said it, I'm probably the one nigga they know of who actually did what they said he was going to do quickly after he said it. And then they be blown away, which goes back to what the Immortal Minds brother was talking about, how people will just be blown, which is amazing to me because I'm desperately deprived of just authentic. I ain't talking about perfect. You just authentically you. You know what I mean? And when you're like that, they might admire it for a short period of time, but then they'll come to despise you because you'll actually show them what they're not working on or what they're deficient in, which is not my intent, because I still got stuff I got to work on. I'm struggling forward in a few areas, you know what I mean? But I'm addressing the battle. Sometimes it seems like getting the best of me, but I'm still swinging till the cat get dropped, you know what I mean? But I think, brothers are just, and maybe it's the culture, because I know like in ancient cultures, like maybe, in the Muslim areas, Asian areas, like they all, like those people came up with these deep philosophies and proverbs of life and whatnot. Do we have any philosophers here in America where leisure and comfort is at the hierarchy of the value system? I can't afford to get comfortable. Like when I first started working at the job and had little finances finally after a decade, you understand me? That made me uncomfortable. I'm like, yo, I can take a nap and there's not really anything societally or person-wise or whatever pressing me or something, some struggle to be, I can just chill, like everything good. That made me uncomfortable. I actually prayed for some more struggles, you know what I mean? Because that made me uncomfortable. Then, I do this, I'm better with it. Then I get in the struggle and then pray to get out the country or, you know what I mean? Just, picture frame family and all that, you know what I mean? So somebody asked me, like, how do you grow? Like if you're, like, you don't tell yourself to grow when you're a baby into a toddler, into a pre-adolescent, so on and so forth. You just grow naturally, just as you effectively face whatever life has presented to you. That's how you grow. That's why in the quote unquote, and I'll go into SRBG, man, when he was talking about being a real chosen one, is hard. If the Most High, and that's probably why I endure, had told me what I would endure for about a decade of, mediocrity, numerous relapses, being looked over, seemingly invisible, I wouldn't have signed up for it. That's not no easy walk by a long shot. That's why we have to be led by the Spirit. Because if you go to your own wisdom and understanding, because the game is spiritual, you're not going to be able to make the right operative move. You know what I'm saying? This is like, I never wanted to be one of them brothers who just cut brothers off because I think I'm better than them or they're not even growing. It's out of necessity. Because like I said, you keep clogging up my phone with all the inbox messages. And I tell you, and then you do it again, I got to X you out the game now. Because now, if I continue to allow you to do it, anything I say you ain't going to disregard. You're just going to do what you want to do. Now, mind you, to someone on the outside, it may not sound like a big deal. But to me it is. Because it's not out of ego or superiority. It's out of self-value that has been honed by overcoming the various life struggles that have been thrown at me. Going through the fire of the affliction to come out like, oh, you don't, like, if I tell you don't do something and you do it, to me, and the way my brain works, it translates, F him, I'm going to do what I want to do because I know him. You don't know this version of me. And I don't feel no type way about it. I feel bad that it's come to this, but I don't feel bad about doing it, not at all. And even in, previous videos about my daughter mother, I think she was blown away by the fact that I did it. You know what I'm saying? Because I am, like I said, like Newbury was talking about earlier, I am empathetic. I do show mad love, big. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might let you say something crazy to me and disregard it. Say something remotely borderline to somebody I care about, I'm taking up the cause. To the point where the person I was defending that didn't ask me to might feel I went overboard. Because I value friendship. I value human beings. You know what I'm saying? On this walk, on this rock we find ourselves on. You know what I mean? But like SRBG man was saying, there is a lot of loneliness, even if you're in a group of people. You know what I'm saying? You start discerning you're around wolves, so you start, moving tactically. You know what I mean? Due to the epiphanies that you're perceiving through your spidey sense, which I call, this is really the spirit, right? And I've been had that skill. I just disregarded it because of my own ways and thinking. Because I'm not perfect, so I ain't gonna judge you, and I don't. I just judge how much and to what degree I'm a fool with you, because I've come too far to even allow distractions. I've come too far to even allow someone, because my brain don't like nobody disrespecting my intelligence. You know what I mean? It just don't. Like, however this joint is rewired now, don't tolerate that at all. Not even my own child. Now, we are after I had to show her. And a lot of times, it'll just be you doing, not in maliciously, but giving them the same energy they gave you. So at a period of time, you know what I mean, where I think she was picking up from her mother, but whenever I would tell her no or something wouldn't go her way, she would not talk to me. Which, man, okay, cool. Okay. Then she'll talk, okay. But then I noticed the pattern. So the third time, and my spidey sense started tingling. I said, she gonna do it again. So here's what I'm gonna do when she do it. I'm gonna just not talk to her. So, she goes on this not talking binge. I don't talk. But I know you're eventually gonna want something. And then in manipulation, you'll speak to me and try to butter me up. And then later on, hit me with whatever it is you want. Nah, we're not doing that. So next time you talk to me, and we're both kind of stubborn, so it took about a month. So I came home, she spoke to me. I ain't say nothing. That went on maybe another 2-3 months. Now, she feels some type of way and da-da-da. So, everybody felt like I was doing wrong. I said, nah, I got to break her out of that. You ain't going to be able to outlast me. And it's not being mean-spirited. I'm just, life lesson. You can do certain things to other people, but you can't get mad and upset when they turn around and do it back to you. So if you dish it out, you better be able to take it. So then, when we, she apologized through a third party, it's all right, it's over with. Like y'all say, what I mean? I'll cast it into the sea of forgetfulness. You know what I mean? And, I'll point out why I did what I did, what I believe you were doing, whether you realize it or not, and we can move forward. And it ain't like some other issue and I'll just bring it back up. You know what I mean? We just getting past that. We're growing together, baby. Shaboing boing. You know what I mean? And my daughter is very perceptive. So I think she be blown away because she got a baby face. But she is very perceptive. You know what I'm saying? So I was talking to her the other night. She was like, I was just giving critiques about, kind of like keep her out of grown folk business, but the other party likes to put her in it. So I'm like, shut, we're here now. So I might as well give you the information for you to draw your own conclusions. Don't think the way I want you to think. You know what I mean? I want you to have your own mind. So I'm talking to her. She's like, I understand. And I'm kind of like taken back, like, okay. But I understood a whole lot of stuff. I didn't understand how I understood. You know what I mean? But like I said, man, this chosen one's walk ain't for the faint of heart. You know what I mean? You always got somebody trying to stop what, you know what I mean? Stop what you're trying to do, even though they ain't trying to do nothing. But they trying to stop you. You know what I mean? The hate you get, the fake love, you know what I mean? The periods of isolation, loneliness, you know what I mean? If you're chosen, here's a telltale sign, you're chosen to suffer. But it's the suffering that creates the character. That's how I'm able to maneuver now with these various situations because of the character that's been honed over the last decade. You know what I mean? And not only that, a lot of what we can deem negative, right? Maybe in a societal terms. But if you're chosen, you probably survive stuff that people who have died for a fraction of. I gotten a whole lot of, I should have been to prison on a couple of occasions. And the most time I've ever did straight was 60 days. And I had an extensive record. They still sending me expungements. I'm like, damn, I did that to you? It was more like a lot of, like drunken type of crime. Drunk pluck you. Drunk driving. Drunk break something. You know what I mean? Violating probation. I can never get off probation. You know what I'm saying? Years of just pruning and, you know what I mean? But even in those detrimental, I have received a lot of grace and mercy. I know people have been homeless and they still homeless. Like they just fell into that kind of program, I dare I say. You know what I mean? Like I said, I've been incarcerated, but I don't have no, institutionalized mindset. You know what I mean? I've been effed over by women, but you can't pick none of that up off my spirit. I'm just more knowledgeable and wise about what type of woman, what kind of character woman to fool with. I know brothers who have got messed over by women 20 years ago and still lost in the sauce. And it took a piece of them. Even when my shorty passed away from cancer, it took a piece of me, and I honestly didn't think I would recover. I'm like, man, here the one person who seemed, I'm equally yoked with, who just understand the Negro without me having to overly explain it. You know what I mean? And then you call her home. You know what I mean? But through getting sober and I didn't really deal with it like, therapy and all that. Just by getting sober, I went through the natural grieving process. Now it's not an issue. Now certain, dates of certain events come and go. And then after the fact, I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. Even though, that was a very, how would I word it? A very pivotal point in my life. And then 3 months after that, I broke my neck up by my brainstem. And I would deem that he resurrected me that night. The ambulance people wrote it as I miraculously started babbling. And I vaguely remember that. But outside of the great big scar on the back of my neck, you can't tell. I should have went to the I wouldn't have went to the upper room. I tell you that, 'cause I was dead wrong when I got hit. The adversary had me dead to rights. And then it wasn't even like, after that fact, it wasn't even like, oh, I get it together because of this traumatic event. I actually went worse in alcoholism. I got worse. But His grace and mercy abound. That's why now, from where I'm at with it, like the SRBG man say, like, I have no, like, maybe in seasons past, you might see people, at a bar having fun watching the game, or you might see a brother sleeping around, or even myself. But I have no desire to do it. One, with what I know now, I feel like I'm taking advantage of the woman. Even if she don't see it that way, I do. You know what I mean? Nah. And then I'm worried about, the aftermath, like, you know what I'm saying? All the games. Nah, I try to look at you like a sister, shout. Even if you're going out there like old skis, you know what I mean? The burden of conduct is greater on me, and it's not really that vexing. I don't even want it like that. You know what I'm saying? In my mind, I want to be like the movies like back in the '60s where chivalry was kind of still in play, and the brother just slide up on y'all cool like with the woo woo woo, and then time stop, and then fast forward 50 years later, y'all still together. You know what I mean? I ain't think that finna happen. Not unless it's, I guess, would be, I don't know if there's actually quote unquote chosen women. Well, maybe they are chosen. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna get into that whole talking point. To me, that's kind of arguing semantics for the sake of this video. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's mad real out here. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be slick. I don't want to manipulate. And I see I can do it, but there's no temptation to do it. One, I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to get over on nobody. And probably first and foremost, I know better. And if I do's wrong, like old slave, if I do's wrong by the Most High, now if I don't have all the information or I make a genuine mistake, I learn from it. He showed me grace. But if I know I shouldn't do this, and I do it for greed or carnal purposes, man, I'm scared to death. Who? I should have been up out the camp. Man, I should have been went crazy. Look, went crazy a couple times. Because typically, from my understanding, once you lose your mind, you don't get it back. I done went crazy a couple times and got my brain back. I was telling my mother, it's crazy how the crazy man who been crazy for years is now sane, and it seems like everybody else done gone crazy. Now they calling me crazy. Because I don't, and like, back to my man, Immortal Mind, I don't fit in nowhere. Like, I'm my own sovereign entity. Only under the jurisdiction of the Most. Yeah, I mean, you rendered under Caesar was his and under his laws and land and all that. But I ain't getting no jab babbler because I know it's stupid. I'm not doing that. I'm not a part of no denomination. I don't, like Nori said, in a minute, I ain't gonna claim no set. Can't find me. Gotta hit me on the internet. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go underground now. But even with that, and Miss Pearl, Steve helped me with this one where, and I talked about it, and like I'll intellectually talk about something, but I grow involved into implementing acceptance. And it's hard for me to accept it because I do care. I'm like Jeremiah, who constantly weeping for his people. Like you try to tell people stuff or you give them grace, or I can take the hit. But if I can take the hit, if it'll get you going a little bit, I do that. You know what I mean? For the greater good. It never worked though. You know what I mean? So I just accept that this is the world as it is, and it's prophesied. Outside of how I feel about it, don't none of it affect me none. I don't be getting bamboozled by the TV or politicians or even individuals in my life. Just like when I was at the job. I truly believe they were about trying to set me up, right? Because they come to discover I had, not had it, but I come to privy all this and actually stand on ethics because I'm a former recovering addict. You know what I mean? So I think they were trying to get some dirt on me, but I had to sidestep them again. Ran off on the employer twice. They steady calling, I ain't calling, bite. You know what I mean? And still continue to grow and evolve. It's not like I left a job and now because some, entity ain't gave me no job, that now I'm just stagnant and I'm down on myself. I've been not had no job. That was the first consistent job I worked in damn near a decade since I broke my neck. And back then I used to waterproof basement. And I'm still on earth. And the Most High still working with me and on me, in me, through me, around me. You know what I'm saying? That's where my confidence comes from. And further, humbling myself. Because I had certain situations where I felt like people played with me and I can kind of go on the offensive. But then that verse will hit me like, do not repay evil for good. So the only time I do it is for protection purposes and practicality. It's really not in my heart to go on offensive. It just be in my mind, cause I don't like people playing with me. Cause I'm respectful. I'm humble, you know what I'm saying? But, like Newbury was talking about, like, it's just like the level of like the disrespect that people garner. And then if you get jiggy with them, they first one running to the fuzz, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody's trying to trigger you and, you know what I mean? But even now, like I have certain traits and abilities, I guess as a quote unquote chosen, most don't have, and I see the benefit and necessity of. Like I actually enjoy my own company. earlier on when I first started working or whatever, it was like a Saturday and I didn't have my license back yet. Then I rode down my bike to the water about 10 o'clock at night and just sat there, listened to a little YouTube. I don't think I exercised. I just sat down there. And I was like, wow, it's a Friday, Saturday night. I rode my bike here down by the water and I'm completely content. I ain't looking for nothing. I'm not hoping to luck up into something. I am perfectly content and happy sitting here by the water by myself in peace. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? There's another trait of a choke, like, and people, and I went through some wild situations, you understand me? But people tell me I have a pretty decent disposition about myself. Like, I might be going through what I'm going through now, but if you see me, and I might even be vexed about it internally, but if you see me speak, oh, what's up, Kyle? What's up, baby? Give me some love, bring it in, Kyle. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm not acting. Like, you ain't did nothing. Like, people say I got great energy. I got a great spirit. You know what I'm saying? But the evil folk, or people who just, got ill intent, they act like they nervous. Or they attempt to, like, when my man said, and like I said in the preview, oh, you trick, don't you? What kind of man just ask another man, do he trick? Because you do. But you probably say that because you can tell something, like, I don't get down like that. Why would I pay for something it's like Orlando Brown? You mean tell me I got to pay for grapes? You bastards. God put this here for me and you claim a monopoly on it and paying me for grapes? I feel cuz. But that's just a quick, we got, especially now as the world grows darker, we're going to have to, and the test is, we're going to have to establish healthy boundaries. And the test is, it'll probably come from people you've known or who probably ain't even done nothing to you. It's no different than, like, back to, I think of Mans Templar when he said they're all agents. If they're not growing and evolving at under the sovereignty of the Most High, they have the propensity to be hacked. And that's what makes it dangerous, because their software will get corrupted by someone whose hardware looks like somebody you've known all your life. And on that note, I'm almost to my destination. Get a little dark out here. I try not to make videos in the dark because, just for the optic purposes. I do plan on getting on some of this video editing and more so planning content, because I really want to bless y'all with some seriousness and with my own pizzazz of humor. Because I think that's like a defense mechanism. I learned how to laugh stuff off. Not that I can't deal with it or nothing like that. I've learned how to find humor in various situations as a coping mechanism, or to stay on a high vibration and these various situations or environments I found myself in that was dumping on everybody else. So I started coming up with some counter tactics. So I will find some humor in a situation that I don't know how I'm gonna get out of. But now I'm under this spiritual belief, and it's always been the case. I'm just coming to understand to a greater degree now that nothing is really going to happen outside of the Most High sovereign control. That's so long as you stay on the path. And let's say you make a mistake, okay, yeah, he'll give you some grace and mercy. But now, because we're his representatives, his ambassador, we can't afford to make the same mistake. Just like I used to hear how they said Bill Belichick would be the most hardest on Tom Brady. Arguably, depending on who you ask, one of the greatest football players of all time. And he said he would give him the blues because you're the standard bearer. How you go is how everybody else going to go. You set the example. Just like typically the most talented person, the coach is the hardest on them to exact all the potential out of them. You know what I mean? Word up. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all, man. Y'all stay up out here. Understand me? Woo-hoo!